Hello, my name is XONEVANT and today is Thursday, January the 1st, and we're going to be taking a tour today of the brand new Daily Dose 2015. We're going to be going through all the new features and I'm going to be telling you guys how you can interact with the show. So let's get started on today's Daily Dose. Alright guys, welcome to the first episode of Season 3 of the Daily Dose. Back in Season 1, we were able to get all 365 episodes up. Obviously in 2014, didn't quite make it. We were about, 80 to 100 shy of our goal. Had a bit of a bumpy ride, but we're going to get through that this year. And I figured we'd kick things off with the brand new graphics template for the Daily Dose. Hopefully you guys have enjoyed seeing what has been up so far. And obviously the new soundtrack in the background. I'll be explaining that a bit more later on. But I figured we'd take a tour, show you guys what was going on, because last year I did get some questions about, things like, what game were you playing in the background and that sort of stuff. And I don't know if I took the time last year to show you guys the graphics, right? So you would know where to look if you wanted to find out certain things. So I figured it was only fitting that we take the first episode of this season, go ahead and tackle that, and that way the rest of the year, hopefully your questions will be answered just by looking at the graphics and paying attention to the videos. So first things first, we got some brand new music. I'm gonna go ahead and fade that up in the background right now so you can hear it one more time. This is gonna be our brand new music for the Daily Dose, like the theme, if you will. Last year had a little theme, and obviously the year before that had its little theme, and obviously I will throw more music in here, periodically, but that's the main theme, the main intro that you're gonna hear, the main outro that you're gonna hear virtually on every single episode, unless it's a special episode. But I really wanted to pick something that was more upbeat and got you guys into it, so hopefully you are enjoying this music. I'm gonna let that play on while I discuss some of this other stuff, and you guys can let me know in the comments what you think about it. So the first thing I wanted to show you right quick is the transitions. We got two new transitions. These are obviously what I'm going to be using when I do heavy editing, so that I don't have to do a lot of crossfades and stuff like that. To me, it just looks really cool. So I'm showing you both of those transitions on the screen right now, and that way I can make quicker edits in Sony Vegas without having to do so much, like I said, crossfading and stuff like that. Now what you're seeing on screen right now is the brand new intro title sequence. We got Square One Games Presents. I stuck with the white and kind of the gray accent pieces for the background. Got some moving parts back there, to keep everything busy and lively as you guys watch the video. If you go back and you watch Season 1 and Season 2, I also had that same color scheme. I just had some different stuff going on in the background. This year I chose some triangles with some small particles. I think it looks pretty cool. Now let's go ahead and transition into the episode sequence. Obviously it just says the Daily Dose with the episode number, really bright color font for the Daily Dose. A lot of you guys liked that on last season's show, so I figured I would keep that this year, and obviously you got your episode number right there. Now up next is actually the show type. Are we going to be doing a topic, or are we going to be doing a discussion? Am I going to be telling you guys a story? Obviously that's going to be right there underneath that graphic, and obviously the graphic is going to be, telling you guys whatever we're talking about. So if we're talking about Christmas or a video game, that's what that picture is going to be. Today we're talking about the Daily Dose, so you see that font up there already. And then underneath that is kind of like a subheading, the direction in which I want to take the story or the topic. Obviously today the topic is the Daily Dose. Let's take a tour of the Daily Dose. If we were talking about the new Batman game, then in orange it might say let's talk about the new combat system they're using, or the vehicles they're using, or something like that. And so this kind of gives you guys an idea of where I'm going with the show, and kind of gets you focused on the topic at hand. Alright, so now we're going to get into one of my most favorite things, right? My most favorite aspects of every graphic template that I make for you guys, and that is the video display. I mean, obviously you got your game, right? But around that is pictures and images and numbers and text popping up and all that kind of stuff. I kind of think of it like a news program, right? Like if you watch Fox News or MSNBC or something like that, they have all that stuff on the screen, yet you're able to focus on anything you want to at any given time, and it's not necessarily distracting, right? And that's kind of what I wanted to bring to the table with this particular graphic template, and what I've done with all the graphic templates in the previous seasons. Now the most obvious thing is the game playing in the background. You can see that. In the top left we've got the month. Now you can see here that as far as the dates are concerned, the way that I treat this is Sunday through Saturday. So like if today were Sunday, then that very top square would be filled in. Now right now it is Thursday, right? So we've got 3 days left in this week, which is why it's the third from the bottom, and that says 1. So you've got 1, 2, 3 for Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. And that image that you see there by the 1 is representing whatever game I'm playing. So I'm playing Infamous today. I got a picture of Infamous up there, and I'm playing that specific game. Now underneath that we just have a repeat of what you've already seen, right? It's the show type, if you will. So we have the word topic and then a picture that says the Daily Dose. Now if it were a discussion, then where it says topic it would say discussion, and then there'd be an image of whatever we're talking about. So the image that is representing where the dates, that's the game I'm playing. But if you're, if you ever lose track of what game or what topic that I'm actually talking about, then that's going to be in the bottom left. So if I were talking about PlayStation today, then in the bottom left, instead of it saying Daily Dose, it would have like a PlayStation logo or something to that effect. And that'll always keep you guys triggered in on exactly what I'm talking about. Now, if you look directly underneath the gameplay right there, you're going to see it says Playing Infamous Second Son. I'm going to probably pause the screen right now because this thing actually scrolls for almost over a minute basically, and it has a bunch of different things that you can read and kind of check out, and I'm going to go through each one of them. So the first one's going to say what game I'm playing. I know a lot of times I'll be playing an indie game, or maybe I'll be playing a game that's exclusively for a console that maybe you don't have, and the question is always, what game are you playing? I want to buy that game, but I don't know what you're playing. And instead of having to ask me in a comment, which you can if you want to, right? But instead of having to ask me in a comment, you can just look right down there. It's going to be the very first thing that pops up, and it's going to repeat obviously as the video plays. So I mean, I think everybody knows Infamous Second Son, even if you don't play PlayStation. But if I was playing an indie game or something like that, then you would know exactly what game I was playing right there on that first portion of the lower third. Now after about 10 seconds, that's going to go away and a new one's going to pop up, and it's actually just going to be a little bit of a refresher of the date. We got Thursday, January 1st, 2015. Now the next thing up is going to be the subscriber of the day. You guys know that I love shouting out everybody who has subscribed and supported this community. I've been doing this since season 1, right? But if you go back and watch season 1 and season 2, I've always done the subscriber of the day during the outro. Now, what I'm finding is happening is that a lot of you guys who, are core subscribers and that sort of thing, once you got used to the format of the Daily Dose, you would kind of click off once you knew the outro was coming, because maybe you just came to hear what I had to say, right? You weren't really concerned about anything after that. So you didn't really watch the outro portion, and I feel like those people really didn't get seen as much as they should have. So this year I'm going to be shouting out the sub of the day. It's going to be right there on the bottom of the screen, and like I said, that's going to come up a couple of times before the commentary ends. Now this is a really cool one, right? This is a fun fact. So this is something that's factual about myself that maybe you don't know, and maybe I've mentioned in the commentary before, but obviously not everybody watches all the videos, that sort of thing. So this will be something about me, or like in this particular case, it says I have 2 Nintendo DS display boxes in my video game collection, yet I don't actually own a DS at all, which is kind of strange. So you're going to get that, right? You're going to get me throwing out some kind of fun fact about myself. So if you really want to get to know me a little bit better, right? Obviously I'm not going to make a commentary about me having 2 DS, display boxes, right? But it's a cool fact to stick into the video, and I think that's a great way for us to kind of connect a little bit more with, the Daily Dose. Now the next thing you're going to see is a question. Now this question is always going to be relative to whatever topic we're talking about for any given day. Today, obviously, we're talking about, the fresh coat of paint on the Daily Dose, and I really want to know what you guys think. It's always scary to launch the Daily Dose because, I got to stick with this design for a whole year or be able to make quick changes based on feedback. So, today I'm really concerned about what you guys think of the new Dose, and that's obviously the question. So it just gives us a good starting point to be able to start a conversation in the comments. Feel free to talk about anything you want to, obviously, in the comments. But, if you're looking for, more of a Q&A type thing, that's my question for you. And obviously you can answer that question in the comments below. Now the next graphic, in my opinion, is one of the coolest, right? Because a lot of times new subscribers won't comment when they're new to a community, right? They're trying to fill things out and that sort of thing, and they won't leave a comment. They'll watch the videos for a long time, but they won't really leave a comment. And you know, a lot of times I don't even know if they've subscribed or not until they leave a comment, right? But the cool thing is that YouTube is put in, especially with the new dashboard creator studio feature that they have in the back office, they've added a link you can click where you can see the most recent subscribed people to your community. And this is down to the hour, like if they subscribed 6 hours ago, 8 hours ago, that sort of thing. And so what I'm doing is I'm just going through and pulling as many names as I possibly can just to say hey to the new people, right? Because like I said, they may not be leaving comments, but I want them to know that I recognize that they're here and that they are absolutely welcome as a part of this community. Now, of course, I'm not going to be able to fit every name up there, right? I'm just going to take the top ones off the list and go until I run out of space. There are some days where we only get 1 or 2 subscribers, but there's other days where we get 30, you know, depending on what game I'm covering and what's out. So, you know, 30 is not going to fit up there, right? But I'll put as many of the new subscribers up there as I can. And that's just my way of saying, welcome to Square One Games. We're glad you're here. Enjoy yourself. Now, last but not least is going to be all of our social media links. They're going to be right up there on screen. I know a lot of you guys never look in the description of the videos on YouTube, so now you'll be able to see everything in clear sight. And I even included the YouTube link because sometimes videos that we do on Square One Games will get featured on other websites, right? So I did provide that as well, so you'll know how to find us back on YouTube. Alright, so now we get into the outro portion of the show. Back in Season 1, I had 1 video box. Season 2, we had 2 video boxes. So obviously I had to go triple, baby, on Season 3. So on the left, you've got your featured playlist. This is whatever I'm trying to highlight for the channel, right? So if I'm covering a new game, that's going to be up there. Like right now, I'm about to start posting my Dishonored personal play in the next 24 to 48 hours. So there'll be a link to that. In the middle, we've got our previous show, you know, whatever happened on the previous Daily Dose. And then on the right, one of my favorite, the YouTube Spotlight. This is when I find somebody that's in the Square One Games community or just a really cool video on YouTube, and I highlight that for you guys and hopefully, you know, bring some traffic to your channel. Today we have in the YouTube Spotlight Dormouse03. Just this morning, right, when I was making this graphical template, she posted one of my favorite series up on her channel, which is What's Pushing My Buttons. And it's a great show. I love that show. I've watched them all. And she did this one, so I figured, you know what, that must be a sign. So she did a best of 2014 in gaming, TV, and movies, if you guys want to check that out. And then something that I want all of us to keep track of this year is our community numbers, right? How many people are joining the Square One Games community? So right now, as of the time I edited this video, we have 5,661 SOG community members, and that's just going to keep hopefully going up this year. I would love to reach 10,000 subscribers by the end of this year. That would just be epic. Alright, and now comes the friendly reminder to you guys to make sure that you're always asking me questions in the comments, sending me articles. A lot of this show has to deal with interaction, so the more I'm getting from you guys, the more I can put into the show, right? So sending me articles, asking me questions, I basically just put all those in a Word document, and then if there's that one day where there's not really a topic, just, you know, that's obvious that we should be talking about, then I can pull from that and kind of fill in the blanks. One of the toughest things about doing a daily show, especially with the time commitments I have, is trying to get a topic every single day. And so having those questions on hand, or that article that you sent me, or some specific subject that you want me to talk about, comes in really handy. I can't even tell you how handy it comes in when I just can't find that article, right, that sparks my interest for that given day. Alright, now we get into the fun part of the show. This is the part of the show that I hope everyone just absolutely enjoys. And if you can watch the entire Daily Dose, you'll be rewarded with hopefully some laughter from not just myself, but from the community. This could be bloopers, outtakes, anything goes in this particular portion of the show. I'm going to be posting comments from you guys, and they can be as silly as you want them to be. They can be as smart as you want them to be. They can be intellectual quotes. They can be silly quotes. Let me just give you a couple of examples. So the first one is, technology hates me. And that's from your boy XONEVANT, right? And that's more of a regular quote, you know, that like a general quote, but you guys know that technology hates my guts. If it's gonna fail technology wise, it's gonna happen with me. So just imagine that you left a comment like that. I might pick that comment and throw it up on screen. Now you might be feeling a little bit frisky one day and leave a comment like this. I remember playing Mario Brothers when I was a kid and wondering if it was me on drugs or Nintendo. LOL. Signed Koopa Trooper, right? I mean, that might be you. You might want to leave a comment like that. I might pick it, throw it up on screen. Now some of you may be feeling super freaky and want to leave a comment like this. If anyone misses a dose, they should be hung upside down from a helicopter till the blood rushes to their face, then dropped into a pool of sharks. If said person should survive this ordeal, they should be forced to drink the water. Signed, Sharkbait. So that's kind of the spectrum of what you guys can leave. You can leave gibberish, you can leave whatever you want to. I will be reading these out. So as stupid as you want to make me sound, right? I'm going to be picking 2 to 4 of these every single day. Hopefully you guys will get them in, right? You can private them or you can send them to me publicly, either way, and I will be reading these. You know, just try to keep them sensible, right? Don't get R-rated with them and that sort of thing. But I think that's just going to be fun for us to do at the end of every show. Now, getting back to what I was saying earlier about the old outros, right, where I say, and if you even miss one dose, that sort of thing, those took a long time to edit, right? So it's impossible for me to put those at the end of every single show, every single day, right? It's just too much. There were some times, guys, where I would be editing a show. It might take me 2 or 3 hours to edit, and the actual outro, just that miss your dose part of it, right? That outro would take 2 to 3 hours to edit. So here's what I'm going to do. Instead of putting those at the end of the videos, right, we're going to do these quotes, which I think will be funny. But what I'm going to be doing is periodically, I'm going to dedicate an entire daily dose to just maiming, killing, and tormenting you guys who miss your dose. Like, it's going to be epic. I may put 1 skit in there, 2 skits. It just depends on how much time I have and the creativity flowing, right? You guys know I like to put sound effects with it and all that kind of stuff. If you were on basically the script team last year, Darker XZ, a couple of you other guys would send me scripts. Send them in. I will give you credit just like we did last year, but I'll be dedicating an entire show to just maiming and killing you guys for missing a dose. So I think that's a good compromise. We'll do quotes. I may do bloopers. It just depends, but we're definitely going to be setting aside those missing your dose type outros for a show in and of themselves. And I think that'll just be epic for this year's Daily Dose. Now, the last thing I'm going to be incorporating into this year's Daily Dose is very similar to what I do for the personal plays. You guys know I love running those contests with the personal plays. I'll either be asking you questions or you got to find something or that sort of thing. A lot of you guys really enjoy that. So I'm going to be running a contest throughout the year, but it's going to be inserted into the Daily Dose. You're going to be given a set of instructions. You follow those instructions, you do what they say, and obviously you are entered into the contest. Some of them are going to be time-sensitive contests. Some of them are going to be like very similar to hide and go seek, where you have to go to a couple different videos. Maybe you have to look in the description. Maybe you have to find a comment. I'm going to be going crazy. I might have you go to Facebook. I mean, you're going to have to explore the community of SOG in some of these to find the answer. And then obviously I will be awarding prizes accordingly, you know, based on the contest. And I think that's just going to be a whole new level of interactivity for the Daily Dose that wasn't present in Season 1 and Season 2. All right, that's it, guys. Now you know everything about this year's Daily Dose, all the brand new features, how you can interact with the Daily Dose, and that sort of thing. Hopefully you guys have enjoyed today's show, and I'll see you guys right back here tomorrow.